What is up, guys? I'm Benjamin Outdoors, and this is my channel. So today I'm actually be working on something very cool but very frustrating. So I'm going to be taking an ordinary CBR600rr tank, taking the odometer from up there, putting it right there. It's an odd place for it, but not for this bike. This bike is a street fighter, cafe racer, whatever you want to call it. It's not your typical CBR. So I am taking some of this dreadful, worst material to work with ever, fiberglass, and I'm going to be building something on top of the tank that is very aesthetically pleasing, hopefully, but very practical at the same time to hide wiring and stuff like that, and not completely impractical in terms of the odometer. You might have to look further down to actually see it, but some of these guys that have stunt cages and stuff and just zip tie their odometer to the side or make it look really trashy. I'm gonna try to make it look professional and look really good for a budget. So y'all stay tuned, enjoy the video. That's the odometer. This is the odometer I actually bought for the bike. It actually has like 17,000 miles. I'm planning on mounting it like right around here. So like not up here because it's just ugly. I wanna mount it right here. So I actually think that I'm going to try to use the fairing that came with the bike. It actually has a crack right here. I'm going to see if I can repair that with fiberglass. And then I'm probably going to cut it right here, take all this off because I don't need it. Try to build some type of fiberglass bracket to put the odometer right there, and then have an air gap in here, like to where this is all enclosed with fiberglass, but also have it where I can put all this wiring up inside of it, which would be nice. So we'll see. I'm gonna first slap some fiberglass on this just to see if I can repair that. Put some Bondo on it and then sand it, which looked like it was already done. And then cut this, and then I'll probably start working on this. That's for the throttle cables. I'm actually gonna leave this bracket right here so I can actually still attach it, because that makes sense. I'm gonna sand this down a little bit so I can actually do some fiberglass work on it. Gonna build a cardboard form so I can lay the fiberglass up on it and then finish building it. So I'm actually gonna lay the fiberglass on there and then actually start painting it on. is absolutely ugly right now. This is my first real fiberglass project, so hopefully it comes out pretty good. We'll see. So we'll let that dry for a few hours, and I'll probably get back to it. So I kind of made a mistake. So you can see this Sharpie mark. I kind of built the thing way higher than I needed to. It looks kind of stupid actually, being up that high. So I'm actually gonna trim it down, re-fiberglass the top. I have to sand all these down anyway, these high spots. And then I can re-fiberglass it and hopefully it'll look a little bit better. Again, y'all, this is my first fiberglass job, so just bear with me. It doesn't look great, but I'll fix it with Bondo. Alright, so I cut this piece out. I am going to tape it in here.
Six and a half hours later.
So I got like a bunch of layers on it. It's actually pretty heavy. So I'm probably gonna take this and sand down some of the edges and then take some Bondo and finish out the shaping. And then I'm going to pull the cardboard out if I can, then clean the edges up in here and then maybe actually put some fiberglass in here also. After I drill these holes, I'll probably use fiberglass over it and make it all smooth. Alright, so I cleaned up in here a little bit. The edges are nice and clean. So there's a few spots right here that still have some holes. And so I'm going to come in from the back side and fill them in. Probably support each corner. Each edge I'm probably going to support. And then I'm going to bring some fiberglass and overlap it right here. Then after that hardens, I'll probably put some more right here. And then I'll probably cut the holes out for the odometer. Mixed up real good. So I'm going to put some high temp red gasket maker around the edge. So I'm going to use this as a footprint. I'm going to push this against the area that I want it. That's good. That's good. That's good. So I got a better coating on it, so I'm going to try to push it down. So I got it. Here's the rough mock-up. Looks pretty good in my opinion. It actually looks pretty good. I actually got the wiring harness in today as well. Now I'm just gonna let it cure, and then I'll probably sand it all flat. So I got a few imperfections in it still. I gotta cover those up. A little bit right here, a little bit right there, a little bit right there, and I'm gonna fill those in back with Bondo, and then I'm going to sand it again, and then be done with it. So I actually was talking to a professional that does a lot of sound systems, and he was saying once I get to this point that I can actually mix fiberglass resin and body filler to try to get a nice smooth texture, but also have it nice and harder. So when I go to paint it, it's nice and smooth, no imperfections, and it's also harder than Bondo, which is nice. So I'm gonna take some fiberglass resin and some body filler, put in a cup, get a good consistency to apply it, and then I'll put the hardeners from both, put them in there, and then I'll apply it. I just have a little bit of imperfections, nothing too crazy. It's a pretty nice liquid consistency, and so I'm just gonna gently apply this everywhere after I put the hardener in here, and I'm gonna try that honestly, see if it fills in some imperfections in. Actually, I'm going to put just a tad bit more in there. Put some of this hardener in there, and then some resin hardener. It's kind of nasty, but we'll see how it works. I am going to re-drill these pilot holes though. So it originally had a tab right here that came out of here to bolt down onto here, and I'm going to tape this piece of cardboard on there and try to get the right form to get where it bolts on right there. Pull it off, then fiberglass the back of it, and then fiberglass the front of it, and try to make it pretty thick. A little bit like that. I'm just going to fiberglass over that. Now I'm gonna let it harden. So I got some high temp gasket maker on the edge of the bracket, and so I'm actually gonna push this down, get an idea where I need to cut it again. Let's do that with the whole thing. So I actually have to reinforce that. There's a little crack there, so I'm gonna put some fiberglass in the inside of that to support that. Probably that side as well, since I actually cut off some of the excess plastic and it kind of weakened it, I think. But anyway, so I got this tab done, and I actually bent that up. It was tilted back a little bit more, so I bent it up. There's the fiberglass tab right there. Bolts up right there. I think everything looks pretty good. I'm just gonna sand the rest of it down, and then I fill it in with some filler primer and then sandable primer. And then I'll actually use my spray gun to spray the paint and the clear coat. So that is actually gonna be it for this video. Next video, I'm gonna be building the booth that you see behind me, priming the tank, painting the tank. I got a really beautiful color in store for y'all. Y'all stay tuned for it. If y'all wanna support me, like and subscribe. And if you wanna support me even more, my Patreon is down in the description. And y'all tell me what y'all wanna see next. I got a lot going on right now, but after I get some of these projects done, what kind of builds y'all want to see? I was looking at a Ducati the other day. It sold before I could get it, but I've also seen some really cheap stuff. Like there was a BMW Cruiser. I don't know what it was, but it was like a Goldwing style BMW, and it would have been really cool to strip that thing down, get it running, and make a cafe racer out of it. But y'all let me know what y'all want to see in the future, and y'all take it easy.